Get that down a little bit. Live. It's the Perfect Conversation podcast. We do this live, but I don't really wait till nobody get in here or nothing. I just go. So if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, then catch the replay. There's no delay. Get this a little straight right here. Let's go. Let's see if we can go in. Okay. All right, there we go. We go. All right, we set. Said the perfect conversation. It's always about 20-minute conversation, 20, 30 minutes, just going through to get a better understanding. Wisdom and knowledge. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight right there. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Once again, this is the perfect conversation with your host, the most perfect, aka the author who taught you. All right, let's get into this today, or tonight, I should say. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's three simple things that's been manipulated people's minds as to the aspects of how it's even obtained and how it's expressed. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I had a previous show on Adam and Eve, the real story of Adam and Eve, the real lesson that you should get from it. So this is tying into that because it's the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. So with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you get the knowledge from the man. If you ever heard the saying that when somebody says, don't ask me no questions, or don't, because I said so. That's the knowledge. That's what represents the man. Now, the wisdom, that's the why. That's the knowing the difference between good and evil. And the wisdom is, of course, the woman. So the woman knows the why. And then you get to the understanding. To get understanding, you have to listen to the children because they represent understanding. If you want to get understanding, listen to the children. If you want to get wisdom, then listen to women. They're going to tell you the difference. That's what women do, compare things. And that's why, because they have the wisdom, knowing the difference between good and evil. That's why the serpent, so-called, spoke to the wisdom, which is Eve, and the serpent represents what? Wisdom. Then you have the knowledge, and the man gives you the knowledge. But the man is not going to necessarily give you the why or the how come. He's going to give you the knowledge, and you are supposed to apply it to your life to find out. And like I said, if you want the knowledge, you go through the man. The man is the knowledge. You want the wisdom, it comes from the woman. You want the understanding, it comes from the child. So if you are missing, let me fix this shit. Hold on. So if you're missing understanding in your life, then listen to the children. Because they are understanding. They have understanding. And you want to, if it's men that want to see how good your knowledge is, then look at the women in your life. Look at the wisdom. See what someone is doing with that knowledge that you gave them. And even more so, if you have children, you see the understanding that you have. Because even people that tell you to have a lot of children, or even more than one children, I say, at different points in their life, they can see they self and understand they self by seeing their child and knowing what age they had that child at. It's a different experience for parents to have children at different ages. So this ties still into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So the man represents the knowledge once again. Woman is the wisdom, the understanding is the child. So if you're a man and you want to get wisdom, you have to talk to the woman. You have to be around the woman. If you want to get understanding, you have to talk to your children, communicate with your children. Children, if you want wisdom, you got to talk to your mom. If you want the knowledge, talk to your dad. Women, if you want the knowledge, talk to the man. You want the understanding, talk to the children. But everybody has a place in it. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It's not everybody is everything. So that I think that puts a lot of pressure on people too to try to be the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding. You don't have to be all of that. Just if you're the man, just make sure your knowledge is correct. If you're a woman, just make sure you know the difference between things when you're comparing things. Make sure you're giving people the proper wisdom on that. And if you're a child, then just understand. Soak it all up. Listen. So you can provide anybody that talks to you with more understanding. Because like I said, all a child can give you is understanding. A child can't give you knowledge. A child can't give you wisdom. It's a kid. Don't know nothing, and he don't know the difference of nothing. All he understands is that he's here. So you got to think of it in those aspects. A woman can only give you wisdom. She can't give you knowledge. A man can't give you wisdom. He can only give you knowledge. And that's just how it works in this physical reality. That's just that's how the representation is said to be. So like I said, don't focus on being trying to be all three, knowledge, wisdom, trying to have them all. No, if you're a man, just make sure your knowledge is good. And then you attract the right wisdom and have the correct understanding. So just play your part. Do what you're supposed to do in the circle of life when it's your turn to do it, because everybody gets to be a kid and just have understanding. No responsibility, just understanding that they're here and understanding there's stuff that I want to do and there's stuff that I don't want to do. Like I said, this ties into when I was speaking about the real story of Adam and Eve and the true lesson from it, which is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, accountability, and consequences. That is what you were supposed to get from the story of the Garden of Adam and Eve. And there's deeper scientific information you can get from it too if you're on the scientific level and you know about minerals and different things like that, or different biology, then you can get that from the story of Adam and Eve also. But the main point of the story, just the basic, is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, accountability, and responsibility. And the consequences of it all. Well, that's what you're supposed to get from the Bible. Simple lessons, or like I said, deeper lessons. If you're on the scientific level, then you can get extract deeper information that applies to the body. Because I said this conversation is about knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That all applies to the body. Representations of it being the man, women, and children. But it all applies to the body, or a complete body, is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And you got to be responsible and accountable for your actions. You got any questions in here? I think I'll be getting bots in here. That's all it be is some damn bots in here. Just be saying anything, writing in Arabic. A cop pulled me over and he said papers. I said scissors. When? Then he shot me 78 times. Like, what is kind of, man, I don't even be talking about crazy stuff. How the hell do I have comments like this? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh, that's why they be having block parties. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just start blocking these bots. I didn't know that. Okay, let's have a block. That's what a block party is. All right. Well, yeah. Anyway, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Apply that to your life. Apply these simple things to your life and simple rules to your life, and that's really how you advance your life. Not by thinking that everything is magical. Only thing is magical is you can do something and it'll be done. That's the magic. That's the magic. I don't know how do I, what the hell, how do I even get these people in here? This is crazy. Just be all types of bots or crazy comments in here. What in the world is going on? Moderators. I ain't got no damn moderators. Yeah, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Perfect conversation. Having a night. Apply this stuff to your life. Simple things. Raise that up. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah. Man, woman, child, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I said you're going to get understanding from children. You're going to get wisdom from women. You're going to get knowledge from men. Oh, one other thing I'll talk about. One other thing I'll talk about. Um, I messed up my train of thought with that silly shit. Like, how do I just? Good Lord. Uh, I'm gonna figure this shit out. Anyway, the last thing I'll leave y'all with is you have never failed anything in your life. You have succeeded at everything. What you think is failure is really just you quit. Wasn't a failure at all. You quit. You stopped doing it. That's the only failure that exists. Because as you know, with the perfect definition of the word success, success means to go towards something. So the moment you go towards it, you succeeded. What you're feeling the weight of is failure. But it's not failure from you being incapable. It's failure because you quit. You didn't keep going. That's why you didn't complete it. That's why you didn't finish it. That's why it didn't get done. That's why you fell short. All because you stopped. Not because you couldn't do it. Not because it wasn't going to happen. It was just because you stopped. So, if you don't stop, then guess what? You're going to complete and accomplish everything you want to, as long as you don't stop. Because you don't know how long it's going to take. You could set a date. I wouldn't set dates. I would just say pick a task and focus on it. Focus on what you want to do. Because if you set a date, you could make it longer or you could make it shorter. So it's like if you set a date that's for 2 weeks to do something, it's like you put in that 2 weeks maybe trying to say you want to get it done fast, but you could possibly get it done faster if you just focused on getting it done instead of focused on getting it done in 2 weeks. When you start adding sauce to it, you thinking of more stuff. So instead of getting it done, now you focus on getting it done in 2 weeks. You just think that you want to get it done. And at this time, when I get it done, this is what is my reward. This is what's going to happen. But you don't necessarily have to put a date on it. A date is just to, I'd say it's like training wheels for motivation. You don't really need a date to complete something unless you have some type of requirement to meet for someone else on a project or something like that. But your own aspirations and ideas, there's no deadline restraint on them. So it's no need to put that on them. Because like I said, you can make it take longer possibly. Or if you don't get it in time that you thought, then that could discourage you from not doing it at all. So, like I said, maybe training wheels is making dates. Training wheels is putting times to things. I'm going to do this at this time. Like I said, unless it's involving somebody else and you have to deal with other people's so-called schedule, then that's when you focus on time. But if it's something you just want to do, you just focus on task. That's it. Don't worry about what time you want to exercise, because if you miss, like I said, if you miss the time, then you're going to be like, oh man, I missed the time. I'm supposed to. Now you feeling bad about missing the time. You're not even feeling bad about not exercising. You feel bad about missing the time. You missed the time you was supposed to exercise. Now you got that bad feeling, when if you just say, I want to exercise today, and at any point in the day, even if it's right before you lay down, if you exercise, you feel that's your accomplishment. You said you want to exercise. You didn't say what time. You just said you want to do it. So therefore, you take the weight off of yourself and pressure that you putting on yourself by creating dates and deadlines. You don't need to do that. You just need to focus on the task and focus on getting it done. That's it. It'll help you to be far more productive if you handle things in this light. Or you can not handle things in this light and do whatever you're doing. I don't know. These are just tips that I use. Wrong, right, I don't know. I know it helps me get done quicker. Things I'm doing when I just focus on doing the thing, rather than focus on a set time or by this time or by this date. It's like, what are you even thinking about a date and time for? You should be thinking about doing the thing that you want to do. Focus on that strictly, only. Like I said, if you need training wheels at first for motivation or to help you with the discipline of getting in the rhythm of getting things done, then yeah, write you down the date and the time and then attempt to stick to it. But in the end, you'll find out you don't need dates and times. You just need to focus on the task at hand. That's it. That's all you need to do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been another perfect conversation with the most perfect. Tune in again whenever I'll be back. I don't know when. I ain't got no time or date. I just know I'm going to do it. I'm Audi 5000.